For nearly 2 decades, the name Jeffrey Epstein has cast a long shadow over powerful institutions and public figures. Now, a deposition of a former president has pulled Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker into that orbit. You've probably seen the clip. But what does it actually mean? Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, dug into the flight records to find out. Mark?
Yeah, Mike, when you see a clip like that, a former president under oath, using the name of a sitting governor who has his own presidential ambitions, all in a conversation about Jeffrey Epstein, you really want to know what's behind it all. So we went and looked, and what we found, we got flight logs and plane tail numbers from a source familiar with both trips, and we used public records to corroborate that against what we know, and it all tells a very different story than what you might be seeing online. When a former president sits down under oath and a congressman asks him about a convicted child sex trafficker,
I did take those plane trips with him.
You listen carefully to every word.
You apparently took 26 flights on planes connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Was he on every flight you were on?
Was he on every flight I was on? I think he was, or certainly on most.
You think he was?
In that 4.5-hour deposition, that admission stands out. But it's this 4.5 seconds that has Governor J.B. Pritzker explaining himself.
I think it was on one of these trips. I think.
When questions shifted from Epstein towards the Clinton Foundation and its work abroad, the former president offers up a name.
The man who's now the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, and his wife, they helped me get started. All a matter of public record.
Okay.
Republicans posted that clip Monday night, claiming it placed Pritzker on a pedophile's plane. The next morning in Chicago, Pritzker was standing in front of TV cameras.
See, no. Let me be clear. I'd never even heard of Jeffrey Epstein until, obviously, the scandal that broke out in, 2019.
With charges this heavy, you don't just take someone's word for it. We checked the record. We matched dates, airports, flight logs, and tail numbers, information obtained from a source close to both trips. In the summer of 2008, President Clinton took about 100 people to Africa. On board were donors, journalists, cabinet members, even actors Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen went to see his foundation's work firsthand. This was no private getaway. J.B. Pritzker was there too, talking to reporters on the record. Google donated the Boeing 767. Jeffrey Epstein could not have been there. He was in jail since June. A Clinton spokesman summed it up, quote, Pritzker joined a Clinton Foundation trip in 2008, not on Epstein's plane, not with Epstein, not with Ghislaine Maxwell. 5 years later, a smaller entourage flies from New York to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and Mumbai, all on a private jet owned by Qualcomm. Tail number N881WT. Again, we cross-reference flights to logs and no connection to Epstein.
President Clinton clearly was mistaken, and he corrected the mistake.
We went one step further. We actually pulled the Epstein flight logs themselves. They're publicly available. That showed where Epstein's flight was. We checked those against both of the trips Pritzker took with Clinton. Epstein's plane was never in the same place at the same location at the same time as either Pritzker or Clinton during those trips. Not in 2008, not in 2013. So the records don't just fail to support the GOP claim. They directly contradict them.